Hi everyone, my name is Katie and welcome to my first ever video. I'm so excited to have a booktube channel and talk about books because that's what I really like. So I figured the first perfect video for my channel is my BookCon haul. I went to BookCon with my two best friends last weekend and it was just like the most fun thing ever. I'm just so excited to show you guys all the books that I got. I had literally like the best time. I went on both days. And there were just so many books. Everywhere I went, I made friends with people. Everyone was just talking about the books that they liked, and it was so easy to talk to people just online and stuff like that. And I got so many freebies, and I'm just so excited to share what I got with everyone. The first book that I got is For Everyone by Jason Reynolds. He wrote this poem to perform at the Kennedy Center, I believe. It's called For Everyone, and it's signed, and it says on the back, "This is for the courageous and everyone who wants to be." So I feel like it's just very inspirational, and I need this at a time in my life where, you know, I could use some inspiration right now. And the funny story about this is I didn't even get this at BookCon. Me and my friends were on the train into the city and we were talking about BookCon and kind of like our plans for the day and what we were going to do, and the lady sitting next to us on the train is like, "Oh, are you going to BookCon?" And we're like, "Yeah, we are." And she was saying how she was at Book Expo all week and like just all the really cool books that she got, like kind of tips and tricks, and she's like, "Oh, I have 2 copies of this signed book by Jason Reynolds. Does anyone want?" And I had actually seen this in a video on YouTube somewhere and it was kind of in the back of my mind. And when she just kind of gave it to me, I was like, oh my god, I think this is kind of like serendipity because I could use some inspiration in my life right now. Next thing that my friends and I did is we got all of our books autographed. So the first person that I met is Victoria Aveyard, and I got Glass Sword, King's Cage, and Warstorm signed. And Warstorm was the one that I got personalized. Yay, it's so exciting. At the autographs, you're required to purchase a book. So I wanted to get the Red Queen hardcover because together they form an ombre effect, and I only have the paperback of Red Queen, but it turns out that they were out of that, so, you know, it happens. The Red Queen series is about a world where the world is divided in terms of what kind of blood you have. So if you have red blood, you don't have any superpowers, and the silver bloods, the ruling class, have a bunch of like really cool superpowers, and they rule in kind of a monarchy. But it turns out that this girl Mare somehow has the powers of the silvers even though she has red blood, and it kind of starts this whole revolution in the country and just kind of like all of the politics and stuff that go along with it. So this is the 4th book in the series that actually just came out this past May, and I was so excited to get this and read it, and I'm so sad that it's over now, but I was really happy to meet Victoria Aveyard. She's so nice. I just had a lovely conversation with her. Just the Red Queen series will always hold a special place in my heart because I feel like it's one of the series that really got me into reading YA fantasy. Kind of like when I was in college, I would just go on Amazon and pick like whatever book sounded good that Amazon was recommending to me, and I stumbled across the Red Queen series and I found it, and I'm just like so excited that I did because I love this series so much, and I'm so sad that it's over. So the next book that I got signed, I actually went with my 2 friends, and so we kind of divided and conquered when it came to the signing. So my best friend Melissa got to go to the Saba Tahir signing. I actually had a photo op with Saba Tahir. I'll put the photo up in the corner if I figure out, you know, how that works. Anyway, so she got my Torch Against the Night signed by Saba, and it's so cool. A Torch Against the Night is the 2nd book in the Ember and the Ashes quartet. It came out about 2 years ago, I think, and basically this whole series is kind of based on the Roman Empire. There's a girl named Laia who is a scholar slave kind of forced to spy for the evil martial empire. We also have Elias, who is a soldier trained to kill for the empire basically, but he resents everything about it. This series is so good, and Saba is just like the nicest human. She's just like so sweet, and I think I'm gonna reread this series before I get to Reaper at the Gates because I just remember loving it so much, but it's been so long since I read it, I don't remember it that well. And I have plenty of time, so why not reread? Before this, I had only ever gone to 2 author signings, so I had gotten a book signed by Suzanne Collins in 2010 for the Mockingjay tour, and she only stamped the book because she had really bad carpal tunnel, but it's still really, really cool to meet her. And then when Clockwork Prince came out by Cassandra Clare, we went to a book signing for her, and I have a book signed by her, which is nice that I already have a book signed by her because her lines were just like insane this weekend. And even though it would have been cool to meet her again, like, I am glad I got to meet other authors. The next book that my friend got signed for me is Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and I just recently read this book, and the signature is in gold, which is really cool. So this is about a world where basically death is no longer a problem. So in order to control the overpopulation, there are these people called scythes that are trained to kill, and they basically decide who dies. And this book was just so fascinating. The world was just so crazy because it is so almost realistic, and just like everything about this, like, it is so crazy good. And now my copy is signed, which is just so exciting. My friend was actually just sitting, she was one of the first 5 people in the Laini Taylor line, so she actually got a Muse of Nightmares arc, which I'm super jealous about. But as she was sitting there, I just went over and I was talking to her. I saw that the Marissa Meyer line had like no one left on it because it was the end of her second day signing, and I was really sad that I wasn't able to get a ticket for her. So I asked the security person that was there, I was like, hey, like, can I just go and get my book signed? And she's like, sure. So I purchased Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I had just recently read her Lunar Chronicles series and loved it, and I have Renegades, and I'm planning on reading that soon. And what's really cool about this is she says to Katie, we're all mad here, which is just awesome that she kind of like had the time to put in a little cool quote. And I really love just like the aesthetics of this cover. It's awesome. And I'm so happy that I got to meet her because she's so nice, and I'm so mad because I forgot my camera or my phone when I went up to meet her because I was just so excited that I could go that I ran up there and I didn't get a picture with her, which is sad, but you know what, I have this book and I have the memories, so at the end of the day, it's pretty great. Okay, then on Sunday, I actually had a ticket to go see Adam Silvera, even though I haven't read any of his books yet. I'm planning on it, but my best friend Christina slept through when they were giving out the autographing tickets online. They kind of did like a lottery, and I felt really bad, so I gave her my ticket because she like absolutely loves his work and she really connects with it, and I, you know, wanted her to have the opportunity to meet him. But you had to buy a book with the signing, so she got me They Both Die at the end, and it is personalized, which is awesome, and he wrote a little smiley face. I'm so happy that, you know, I was able to help my friend meet an author that she really admires, but I still came away with a new signed book, which is great. This book, I'm sure you've heard of it because like everyone loves this book, but it's about these 2 boys, and on the day that you're supposed to die, you get a phone call. And so basically they know they're both going to die today, and I think, you know, some fun stuff happens, and I'm sure it will make me cry. So I can't wait to be emotionally devastated. Thank you, Adam Silvera. Alright, and the last book that I got signed is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Oh my god, the hype for this book is real, and it is so beautiful. She signed it in gold, and it looks so cool. I honestly wonder, like, do authors practice their signatures? Because I know that they all have really cool signatures, but mine is literally chicken scratch. If I was an author, I'd probably have to practice. This is a West African inspired fantasy about the magic has basically disappeared under an evil king, and it's about her journey to get the magic back into her land, and literally everyone loves this book, and I know I'm gonna love this book, and I'm so excited. And I met Tomi, and she's just the sweetest. I was a little starstruck when I met all of these authors, actually. I just like didn't know what to say to them, but she told me that she loved my hair and that she loved my eyeshadow, and it was great. And I didn't even realize, but she's like my age. I think she's 24, I'm 23. I was like, you're doing such cool things with your life, like you have a book published. And it's just cool to see kind of like young and upcoming authors like having such success. And I know that this is there's a deal for a movie already, and like it's just, I'm just so happy for her because she's just a wonderful human, and I'm so happy that I got to meet her. This next book, oh my god, I'm just so happy that I have it in my possession, and that is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I have the ARC. They were giving out this ARC at 3 p.m. on Sunday at both the Scholastic book booth with a signing and the Owl Crate booth, which was just like crazy all weekend. Me and my friends were like, you know what, we wanted to get some other swag at 3 p.m. on Sunday, so we just kind of decided to forego this because it is coming out in August. So I'm like, whatever, I'll buy it then. And we just happened, after we had gotten our swag, we walked past the Scholastic booth and we saw that the line was not long at all and it was moving so well. So we just hopped on and we got ARCs. And this, I already read this book. It is adorable. It is so cute. I have not read a middle grade book probably since I was a middle grader myself. So it was just, I will love anything that Victoria Schwab writes. Like, I will read it all and I will love it. But look, it's signed. She probably was just bobbing her head all day because everyone was like, oh my god, how are you? And she kept having to say the same thing, and I like was so starstruck. I, you know, wanted to say something like cool and quirky and unique so that she would remember me, and I was just like, hello, how are you? You know, maybe I would have thought of something better if we hadn't just hopped online right away, but I still have this arc, and it's about this girl who almost drowned, and now she has the ability to see ghosts. And her parents like land a gig hosting a TV show kind of about the world's most haunted places. It kind of almost reminds me of a very BuzzFeed Unsolved type thing, because her dad's a skeptic and her mom's a believer, which if you watch BuzzFeed Unsolved, are you a Shaniac or a Bugara? Let me know in the comments down below, because I find myself split 50-50 most of the time. Anyways, so if you're a fan of BuzzFeed Unsolved, this is like BuzzFeed Unsolved for children. And it is just so cute, and I loved it so much, and I like can't even believe that I have this copy, and I will treasure it forever. I got Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake, which, as you can see from the bookmark, I'm currently reading. This is about three queens that basically have to kill each other for the throne. I think the poem in the beginning of the book kind of like is the best summary ever. Like, I almost wish that this was just what was on the back cover, because I feel like it would be the coolest synopsis. But it says, 3 dark queens are born to Glen, sweet little triplets will never be friends. 3 dark queens, all fair to be seen, 2 to devour, and 1 to be queen. In the lobby, they had a booth set up where you could take a picture on the throne, you'd spin a wheel to win something, and I kept going back at all parts of the day and taking more pictures. So I'll put the pictures that I took up here. I took some pictures with just myself, because I kept trying to win stuff, and then also with my friends. It was really fun, and I kind of like loved taking those pictures because they're really funny. And I also got a pin of this and a pin of this, but unfortunately I left all of my pins in New York with my boyfriend at his house, so hopefully when I see him again I get my jacket back and I get all my pins, because I'm super sad I can't show them off. So the next book that I got for free was kind of a total surprise. We were at the Owl Crate booth and we thought we were going to be there in time for an ARC drop and you could spin the wheel and win a random ARC, but unfortunately, like maybe 10 people before we got up to the line, they were like, yeah, sorry, we're out of ARCs. So that was disappointing, but we were already there, and like the Owl Crate gives away so many freebies and stuff. So I spun the wheel and I won the last copy that they had of The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee, which I was not expecting at all. I'm usually not lucky with these spin the wheel things, but I won this and I'm so excited because this is a book that I definitely knew I was going to get around to reading soon, and now I have it and I didn't have to pay for it, which is fantastic. This is basically about a boy in Victorian times who is bisexual, and him and his best friend and his sister kind of go on this cross-country European road trip type thing, and basically he has a giant crush on his friend and it's all about their adventures, and beyond that I don't really know too much, and I don't want to know, you know, like that much going into it, but it kind of seems like a cross between like a historical fiction and a contemporary, and I don't read too much contemporary, but I do really like historical fiction, and it just seems like fun and like the perfect summer read. And now that the weather is really hot, and when I say really hot I mean like humid and like disgustingly hot because I'm in Florida right now, but this is gonna be like the perfect beach read, and I'm so excited that I have it. Now we're gonna talk about the books that I bought at BookCon, apart from author signings. So the first book that I bought was Fury Born by Claire Legrand, and this book has been getting so much hype. It actually came pre-signed, which is really awesome. So yay, look at her signature. So this book is about 2 queens, a blood queen and a sun queen. Their stories take place 1,000 years apart, which is not an element that I've commonly seen used at all. So I'm really excited to see kind of like how their fates intertwine, and I've just heard such good things about this book, and I'm so excited to get to it, and it's signed, so that's awesome. And the next book that I got is Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo, and oh my god, this book is gorgeous. Not only do you have this really, really pretty cover, but when you take the dust jacket off, look at that. It's so cool. And on the back, it just says, "Love speaks in flowers, truth requires thorns." A collection of 6 lavishly illustrated stories. And whew, that is a statement. So I've read the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I'm going to read the Six of Crows duology soon, but basically I'll read anything that Leigh Bardugo writes, and I'm all about, this kind of reminds me of Tales of Beetle and the Bard, and usually I'm not about novellas. Sometimes I find that they can like fall a little bit short, kind of, you know, not too much plot going on, but because this seems like it's short stories not having to do with any of the characters, but kind of like more world building about like the myths that, you know, exist in this land, I'm so excited to give this a try. And the catchphrase is midnight tales and dangerous magic, and knowing Leigh Bardugo, this is just going to be dark and lush and just like rich and so cool. And it's beautiful. I picked that up at the Fierce Reads booth, and the next thing I also picked up at the booth is The Prince and the Dressmaker. So recently I've been feeling like I wanted to get my hands on a graphic novel and try it out, because I've actually never read a graphic novel before. And they had this at the booth, and I'm pretty sure somewhere on BookTube I saw someone mention this, and it just seemed like the cutest thing. It's about a dressmaker and a cross-dressing prince and kind of their adventures. I'm really excited to kind of try out a new form of book, and this just seemed like the cutest thing ever, so I'm so excited to read this. And I'm really happy that I picked it up, because I don't ever remember seeing it on my numerous trips to Barnes & Noble, because that's where I go when I'm bored. I got a King of Scars sampler by Leigh Bardugo, which is the first 3 chapters, and the perspectives are I think in this book, Nikolai, Zoya, who's one of my favorite badass characters from the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and Nina, who I haven't read Six of Crows yet, but I know I'm gonna love her already just based on what I know. This cover is so gorgeous. It's like embossed and like it's raised. I am just obsessed with it, and I know that I'm gonna be obsessed with this book, so I'm just so happy that I have this. I first tried to get it on Saturday at 10 a.m. and I couldn't even find where the booth was, because it was just at 10 a.m. on Saturday, like all hell broke loose. It was crazy. On Sunday morning I went back and I went directly to where this was, and I was one of the first people in line, and I got my sampler and I got a cool little Grisha crown. I took a cool little picture, which I'll put up here. I kind of look derpy, but it's cute. It's a fun memory, and my other friends have not read this yet, so they did something else, so it was just me alone in that picture, but that's fine. I'm so excited to have this. And the next sampler is probably, arguably, was the sampler that was the hardest to get your hands on all weekend, and that is Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. Do I even need to say what this is about? It is part of the Dark Artifices trilogy, which is the latest Shadowhunters trilogy in Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunters world. I think at 10 and 3 every day they were giving out tote bags and samplers, and people, the line was insane, and I kept trying and it just was not working for me. The line kept closing. At 3 on Sunday I kind of walked past and the totes were all gone, but they had a bunch of extra samplers just left on the table, and that's really what I wanted, so I just walked by and I grabbed one. I actually have an extra, so I don't know, maybe I'll do a giveaway or something. I don't really know how this booktube thing works, but if someone would want a sampler of this, please let me know, because I have not read this yet, and I probably won't get around to the Dark Artifices until the fall, because right now I'm only reading City of Bones in my Mortal Instruments reread, so it's gonna be a while until I get around to this, but still, now I can say that I have this, and I'm so happy that I have it. And finally, the last sampler that I have is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, which is an exclusive BookCon first look, so I'm pretty sure this is, Brandon Sanderson is really like known for his epic high fantasy, but this is a YA sci-fi book, and on the back it just says claim the stars. I feel so cool having like all this exclusive swag. Like, I'm just a normal person. I just go to Target and Barnes & Noble and Amazon to get stuff, but I went to BookCon, now all of a sudden I have all this. I have an arc I have samplers. I'm cool now. Now we have the most exciting part is all the free swag that I got. I got so much swag. So, at the Owl Crate booth, I got this cute little tote that says I Heart Owl Crate, and on the back, it has an owl. So super cute. I also got a tote from Penguin Teen that said, "Stay gold, pony boy, stay gold," which is from The Outsiders, which was arguably everyone's favorite book in middle school. I think my favorite tote bag that I got is this one. It says read books, and it has a zipper, and this was definitely the most helpful to carry everything around, and I put all my other free swag in here. At the Fierce Reads booth, I got a Now We Rise poster from Children of Blood and Bone, which I already know I'm going to love when I read it, so I'm super excited to have this. I got a signed map from Ash Princess, so I was able to meet the author. There were supposed to be chapter samplers for the sequel to this book called Lady Smoke, but unfortunately something happened and they didn't have it, but now I have this map, and Ash Princess is on my to read eventually TBR, so once I get through all of these books that I already have, then I'll get around to buying that. But right now I should probably stop spending money on books. Next, I got these I'm Read the Ashes posters. So this one has Laya on it, and it says, "You are full, Laya, full of life and dark and strength and spirit. You are in our dreams, you will burn, for you are an ember in the ashes." My girl Saba is just so good at writing. It's such a cool quote. I have an Elias poster that says, "All things have a price, Elias Viturius. The price of saving her will haunt you for all your days. Will you pay?" So dramatic. A Helene Aquila poster that says, "You, Helene Aquila, are no swift burning spark. You are a torch against the night if you dare to let yourself burn." Like, she's just so good at writing. These quotes are awesome. The next piece of swag that I got was at the Fierce Reads booth, and it was some Renegade swag, and I feel super cool in this mask. So Renegades is by Marissa Meyer, and it's about these two factions of superheroes, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm so excited. And we got this cool card. You can see this is the cover of the book, and it is absolutely stunning. And on the back, you can find your Renegade name. Mine is Strong Siren, which I absolutely love because I'm actually a powerlifter, so I hope that I'm strong. I do powerlifting competitions. I kind of want to keep this on for the rest of the video. We got a Renegades poster with all the main characters from Renegades, which I probably can't get this in one frame, but I haven't read Renegades yet, but now I know. I always love looking at fan art for books because then I can get like a really good visualization of the characters, and so I kind of know how to picture them in my head. They were doing a free giveaway at the Penguin booth, and it's a cool hat that says "Books Before Bros." So, books before everything, honestly. So, you know, I can shade the haters with my Books Before Bros hat. Or I could be super cool, go backwards. So many possibilities. Another really cool item that I got says "I'm always book tipsy," and it's a bottle opener. So when you want to crack a beer and read a book, you got an appropriate book and bottle opener, which is the coolest thing ever. To wrap things up, we went to the novel booth, and I got this super cute novel water bottle, and it even comes with an infuser so you can have fruit flavored water. So that wraps it up for my first ever BookCon haul and my first ever video. I loved making this. It was so fun. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and I guess like and subscribe. Is that what I'm supposed to say? I don't really know. Alright, bye guys. Have a great day. Read lots of books. Have a good time. See you in the next one.